Guys, good morning. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and early, 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, if you tuned in and you were not one of the first 15 viewers yesterday, you did not see a video from me yesterday. That is because my video was taken down. All right, so let me talk about that a little bit. I talked about three things yesterday. Obviously, there's one that I'm not even going to be able to tell you anything about. I can't take the risk. I got a little slap on the hand from YouTube, and the video was taken down. But let me just talk a little bit. First of all, I was concerned in presenting these things yesterday that I didn't want to be part of the chain of ignorance, putting these ideas out there. So in the video description and over again through the video, I said that these are false. These are false rumors and allegations, and to point this out, to prove this, below I will have the links that refute everything that the three false stories that I'm talking about. I said that repeatedly through the video yesterday. Okay, let me admit something to you guys. February 6th, YouTube, it's obvious that algorithms are running YouTube right now. I talk about things that happened through my addiction, through my own experiences, in an effort to emphasize that the mistakes I made. So hopefully other people don't make the same mistakes, so they understand. So there's help with addiction and everything is associated with it. But I have a feeling here that these algorithms spot certain words. I have more than a feeling, it's pretty obvious at this point, that these algorithms pick out words, just certain words. And I don't think any humans are involved in you. I don't even know if there's any humans left at YouTube, to be honest with you. And I'll get to that in a second. All right. So February 6th, I told you guys before that every video, when I download it, I would automatically go through a checklist of everything that's acceptable for Google AdSense, for people that have advertising, everything to a checklist to make sure you're not touching on anything that advertisers find offensive. And I chose to go through that list every day, and then I would get this little burst of fireworks and say, "Congratulations, Daryl, you're doing a great job. This shows you know the rules." Every day this happened, and then one day it said, "Oh, you didn't follow our rules, so we're suspending your monetization for 30 days." From February 6th to March 6th. Okay, so I told you guys about that. March 6th, I had the opportunity to reapply. So they would review my channel, and I'll show you this note. This note has now been on my monetization page where I would go through this checklist. It's been on there for 3 months. 3 months, as of June 6th, it's been on there for 3 months. This note says that we're reviewing your channel, and we will be back to you as soon as possible, typically in under a month. It's been about 95 days now. And there's no way. I have searched every way possible to reach out and just try to communicate to any human at YouTube. As you guys know, I have 10 days, 12, 11 days to get out of this apartment. And I'm going to need a huge amount of money. The advertising I was getting is a huge part of it. Wasn't a huge part of my income, but it was helpful and something I could write down for income to get another apartment, which I don't have now. All right, so it's obvious that there's algorithms that spot certain words. Like in the video I made yesterday, I repeated throughout this video, these are false stories. You know, this, and I have the scientific facts and the facts, all the facts refuting them down below. So any human being that watched this video would understand that I'm saying that this, here, look what people are saying. This is ridiculous. This doesn't make sense. And here's why it doesn't make sense. It kind of worries me because we're being stifled on talking about, on refuting crazy stories out there. And I'm going to get to a crazy story. In my next video, I'm going to talk about Representative Louis Gohmert from Texas. asking the Department of Forestry, Bureau of Land Management, if it's possible that they can change the Earth's trajectory around the sun or the moon's trajectory around the Earth, because he's worried about climate change. Representative Louis Gohmert from Texas. Yeah, and I kind of think it's important to talk about these stories. To me, it doesn't seem like this man has any business being I wouldn't even, if I had kids, I wouldn't even let my kids around him. But he doesn't have any business being in government anywhere. And he's serious about this. But anyway, back to YouTube. So I talked about 3 things yesterday. I can't even take the chance of mentioning anything what it had to do with. Again, the one particular one out of these 3 has become a big story today. It shows a woman in front of another woman trying to demonstrate something. That's all I can say. But I talked about it yesterday, and I pointed out how ridiculous it is. And I put the links all down below refuting it, saying that this is not true. And it was pulled off because it would seem that these algorithms spot certain words, and they classify me as the same kind of people just because a word comes out of my mouth that you could be perpetuating this false story, or you could be trying to get out the word, look, this story is ridiculous, and here's why it's ridiculous, and here's why you shouldn't believe it, and you should do the right thing to protect those around you. And these 2 people are put right in the same category by these algorithms because simply a computer just sees the same words in the video. It's amazing. It's always amazed me that as soon as I download a video, a computer will pick out everything I said and then classify it, as good, maybe not good, bad. Seriously. So I saw yesterday that just after 15 views, this video got yanked. I got to be honest with you guys. I think if I'm going to be honest with myself, I think there's a part of me that in the last couple of weeks, I've really gotten frustrated because I need right now, before it was nice having a little extra income from YouTube. Now I need this, even though it's not a substantial amount, I need it to put down for income to get a place to live that isn't a drug den or anything like that. And it's been over 3 months, and I feel like I was just forgotten about. Like this computer system at YouTube just put me over here, said we're going to review you, and it's been 3 times as long as they say it usually takes, and I haven't. It's just the same message for the last 95 days. Like they just forgot about me. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really think there's a part of me, like a child that's looking for attention, that I've kind of started overstepping the boundaries a little bit just to see if anybody out there is paying attention at YouTube. Have I been ghosted, which was a stupid thing to do for me because the same algorithm is just going to pick up what I say, slap my wrist, and put me in timeout again. And I still won't get the attention of any human beings at YouTube. It's just going to get me in the same position I was in, worse from before. So, but I have to admit, I know in the back of my head, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I know as soon as I go to download a video, like yesterday's video, I didn't check it at all until supper time yesterday, because in the back of my head, I had a bad feeling about it. I'll be, like you guys know, I don't bully you here. I had a feeling it was something was gonna, but part of me, it was just like, how can I get attention? How can I get some attention here? It feels like I've been ghosted. It was a stupid thing to do. So, one of the things I talked about yesterday was Trump going on Fox Business Monday night and saying that Facebook had something to do with the voter fraud, that lockboxes. I don't even know what a lockbox is. I heard of the drop-off boxes for votes, but he said lock boxes. And Facebook are responsible for 96% of Biden votes. It's obvious fraud, which is obviously false. If you're listening to me, YouTube algorithms, it is false. It's a false story. I don't think that's the story, because the story has something to do with something that went on in the last year and a half. Anyway, one thing I did point out in yesterday's video about Trump saying this, I asked if there's any Trump supporters watching, doesn't it kind of click with you guys that at first it was the pandemic and mail-in voting that was the problem, that was the source of fraud. Then it was dead people and immigrants. That was the source of fraud. And then it was satellites and Rome and Leonardo. That was the source of fraud. And it just keeps going on and on. And now it's Facebook. I used to do this. I used to use this exact tactic. Like when I got caught back when I was using in my addiction, if I got caught misappropriating funds, or if I got caught on a urine back when I used to get urine tested, I would say, hey, maybe it's this. Maybe the dog ate my homework. Maybe somebody broke in my house. Maybe it was somebody else. That guy looks suspicious. And you create you create uncertainty by just throwing out a bunch of. It's not even a solid tactic, but it's just like a smoke screen. Could be this. Could be this. Could be this. Could be this. You know, and it creates confusion and uncertainty in the other person. Really throws them. The whole point is to throw off the suspicion from yourself, like with Trump actually losing the election, like he actually did, and just throw out a bunch of stuff and say it could be this, 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 and it confuses, and you know, it's a distraction. That's all it is. And I used to do this, and, you know, and I have to ask myself, why don't Trump supporters, you know, you've gone through at least 5 different theories now. And then the Arizona counting thing. How many different theories are there? And each one, you guys say that it's this. There's millions of votes that were transferred or whatever. Then the next day, it's something else. It's a satellite. It's dead people. It's the pandemic, drop boxes, immigrants. You know, doesn't that ring a bell? Are you just so busy pointing fingers that you don't realize that you're being distracted? It can't be all of them. You guys are saying, you know, it's this one. No, it's this one. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyway, I apologize to you guys for yesterday's video. It is my fault. As usual, I will own up to it. You know, I should have rethought it. I should have thought better than to mention something yesterday. The thing that kind of really gets my goat is that this story is blown up today. It's all over my news feed. Like I have this one app called Flipboard, and there's like 8 stories on this today, and I can't talk about it, even though I talked about it 24 hours ago just when the story was first coming out. I'm always very proud of that, getting the story first or early. So you guys are on your own. I'm sure you probably got a good idea what I'm talking about. I got a lot to talk about today at my housing crisis. I got to fill you guys in. It is a dog-eat-dog world for anyone looking for a roof over their head. The scary thing is the people that are actually getting, or just to actually have a roof over their head, literally, are at the very top tier of income and credit and everything. I have good credit. I have decent income. But the people at well as a 6-figure income a year are the ones that get considered for the most basic apartments or basic to purchase houses. It's a scary world out there, and I've been thrown into it. All right, I'll talk more in a couple of videos coming up. You guys have a great Thursday.